am I supposed to feel sympathy for being like, yeah, sometimes when I create content, it's for money so I don't die? It's like, oh, good. I'm glad. This article on Wired and basically Taylor Lorenz exposed. Some people are saying they didn't expose. Some are saying this is true. Some are saying this has been debunked. But basically, there's a cavalcade of Democratic influencers who are apparently being funded by a group called Chorus. And, this just wasn't something that was disclosed in their stuff. And apparently the contract has some language that basically says you cannot disclose who we are, yada, 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 okay? In a private group chat, dozens of Democratic political influencers discussed whether to take advantage of an enticing opportunity. Some of them were being offered $8,000 per month to take part in a secret program aimed at bolstering Democratic messaging on the internet. But the contract, apparently, from Chorus, was mandated extensive secrecy about disclosing their payments and had restrictions on what sort of political content the creators could produce. So they had a whole little chat about it, and a lot of them decided that they were going to, sign up with this Chorus group. So for years, Democrats have struggled to work with influencers. In 2024, President Joe Biden's White House snubbed several prominent content creators after they lightly criticized the administration over its policies on climate change, COVID, Gaza, and the TikTok ban. Content creators who challenged Kamala Harris, including Hassan Piker, a well-known influencer on the left, were similarly unwelcome at campaign events. So if you guys remember, I'm pretty sure Hassan was at the DNC and was kicked out or something. I don't know exactly why. I think it was just like a logistics thing or something like that. I don't think it was anything serious. After Democrats lost in November, they faced a reckoning. It was clear that the party had failed to successfully navigate the new media landscape, while Republicans were hanging out with like Aiden Ross and Manosphere shit. And, it was like, basically, when Trump first came around, he did like the Jimmy Kimmel circuit and shit, right? And Jimmy Fallon, which one is it? I hate Jimmy Fallon. I think he's seems like a huge piece of shit, but he did the hair tussle, right? So he went on the regular media circuit and then got a little sugar from them. Did his thing, riled up the Republicans, yada yada yada. Then the next time he came around, it was Aiden Ross. It was XQC, I think. The I don't know, is he like Swedish? I can never understand his accent at all. But they were all gobbling up Trump's giblets and bits like it was their job. And Democrats went, oh, we should have done that. So classic Democrat style, they're like, well, let's start doing that a little too late. So now the Chorus Creator Incubator Program, funded by a powerful liberal dark money group called the 1630 Fund, might tip the scales. 1630 Fund essentially is it's like a PAC. These are basically like PACs. They don't necessarily have to disclose where all their money comes from. This is Chorus. This is the dude Tyler. He's like the guy who made the big thing. And you can see their content creators and stuff. The program kicked off last month, and creators involved were told by Chorus that over 90 influencers were set to take part. Creators told Wired that the contract stipulated they'd be kicked out and essentially cut off financially if they even so much as acknowledged that they were part of the program. Some creators also raised concerns about a slew of restrictive clauses in the contract. Influencers included in communication about the program, and in some cases an onboarding session for those receiving payments from 1630 Fund, including Olivia Juliana, the centrist Gen Z influencer who spoke at the 2024 Democratic National Convention, Lauren Pietra, a former Playboy executive turned political influencer who hosts a podcast for Occupy Democrats, Barrett Adair, a content creator who runs an American Girl doll themed pro-DNC meme account. That's one of the most lived up things I've ever heard in my life, an American Girl doll themed pro-DNC meme account. Dang. Suzanne Lambert, who has called herself a Regina George liberal. Ariel Fodor, an education creator with 1.4 million followers on TikTok. Xander Jennings, a former TLC reality star and older brother of trans influencer Jazz Jennings. David Pakman, who hosts an independent progressive show on YouTube covering news and politics. Lee McGowan, who goes by the online moniker Politics Girl, and dozens of others. The first two who declined to comment. And the rest did not respond for requests. According to copies of the contract viewed by Wired that creators signed, the influencers are not allowed to disclose their relationship with Chorus or 1630 Fund, or functionally that they're being paid at all. This is not an uncommon thing. It does follow the definition of dark money. Dark money definition. Funds raised for the purpose of influencing elections by nonprofit organizations that are not required to disclose the identities of their donors. Some of these creators are defending themselves, and basically the whole defense is like, Taylor Lorenz is crazy. This is not necessarily what's happening. I think this Taylor Lorenz and her lazy, dishonest, and massively harmful Wired article. Okay, a little bit of that.
Okay, so if you're not already aware, Taylor Lorenz wrote an article for Wired in which she alleges that several high-profile content creators on the left are being paid by dark money to push a secret, nefarious agenda. She alleges that they...
Bubble Blazer, I bet American Girl doll will come up with an ice doll. Holy shit. Oh man, it's funny because it's true. That hurts. I don't, that makes my heart feel bad. But like, yeah, like she grew up in New York City, and she just saw her papa beating migrants down the street, and like she just dreamed of one day doing the same herself. Yeah, we're getting there. We're absolutely getting there. Cornell, like, it's not dark money. Oh my God, being an American Girl doll meme coin is not political. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like what all the responses are like right now. So the big problem is like everybody just sounds like they're in like some crazy kind of denial. Their big defense is like, well, there's fascism is happening right now. So like, why are you focusing on this? I don't trust anybody. And ultimately my whole thing is like, you should always be taking your shit from tons of sources, and definitely not just like an internet person. Like, never listen to me. I don't know fucking shit. I'm going to point you in a direction. We're going to look at stuff together. We're going to talk together and share my ideas. As soon as you start taking an influencer or like a podcast or anything, I see a lot of people standing up for a lot of these people. Maybe I like your personality and that's why I'm watching you. Ultimately, I'm not going to listen to one of them and be like, that's the be all end all right there. That's the information. I just got it straight from the teat right there. That's the stuff we needed. Nah, it doesn't go like that for me. I got to find like a bunch of different sources anyway. So, I think dark money in general, I want to know where shit's coming from, but I just don't expect it. I don't expect it at all. But let's hear what this guy's got to say about it. Austin Archer.
They all signed contracts, which she has seen, but she doesn't actually post in her article, that say that they're not allowed to disclose that they are being paid, and that have really harsh and strict parameters around what messaging is and is not allowed on their platforms. Listen, I'm just going to say this article pisses me the fuck off. I think it's lazily written and disingenuously framed to make it seem like something much more nefarious is taking place than what is actually taking place. She makes it seem...
Is it framed to seem like something nefarious is going on? I think it's framed like every fucking piece of content is, where it's like, yeah, you make it sound juicier than it is in a way. These Democrats and liberals, they're part of the system that is causing problems. You'll see, I think he's gonna like talk a little bit about it. It's like, you should push left no matter how much, but like, it is okay to criticize, and like, it'd be pretty easy just to be like, the contracts were bad and we should change them, or something. I don't know, it'd be pretty easy, but let's keep going.
Seem like these people are doing secret back channel deals where they're accepting briefcases full of laundered blood money from drug cartels. I'll also just say up top here that I am currently working on a much longer, much more comprehensive video response that is going to be available here in just a couple days if you want to check that out. In that video, I'll be detailing my personal finances. I'll be offering transparency on how much I get paid, by who, how often, and why. I don't actually really believe that information is anyone's business. All I think you really need to know is that I am a professional full-time content creator, and I have been for 6 years, and I occasionally get paid to do my job. That's how I...
So, I mean, like, I'm quite interested to hear what this guy has to say. I definitely am going to check out his part 2 on the video, because I do want to hear, like, what people who are defending themselves, what they have to say about it. Yeah, exactly. Ajax. Bro sounds like Tim Pool when the Russian money thing came out. Exactly. It's like, we've got the clips of you being like, Ukraine is the worst nation on it. It's the biggest threat to America. And it's like, okay, dude, it's like, how can you even deny that you get paid or whatever? I mean, even just like the way he's like, just so reactive to the accusation. Like, I don't know. I do think it's very simple to say, like, yeah, I was with this program or whatever. I don't even know if this guy was with this program necessarily. Doesn't say anything, but it sounds like he's releasing all his finances whenever. Yeah, I don't think that's necessary. It sounds like even too much.
Or to do it full time. The vast majority of the content that I produce is entirely unpaid, but every once in a while, I partner with somebody so that I can afford rent and put groceries in my fridge. But yeah, I think it's kind of insane for Taylor to write a disingenuous, inflammatory article like this and just...
Also, I just hate people being like, yeah, I get paid to eat. It's like, yeah, dude, that's what I don't get paid for, all right? I'm not gonna feel bad. Like, am I supposed to feel sympathy for being like, yeah, sometimes when I create content, it's for money, so I don't die. It's like, oh, good. I'm glad.
Throw a grenade into the volatile community of left-leaning people on the internet, especially in the middle of an authoritarian takeover from the current administration. But whatever, what the fuck ever, Taylor. I guess we'll all talk about this. I wrote a response to this on Threads, and I'm just gonna read that to you because I do think I kind of ate with it. Here's the simple reality of the Taylor Lorenz piece. Taylor, a paid journalist and social media content creator who regularly does paid freelance contract labor for a living, found out that
Bubble Blazer, speaking truth, you're not really leftist if you can afford rent. 1000% true. If you have a full belly tonight, it amazes me how many people don't understand the simple concept of you should suffer.
Other people with her same fucking job also sometimes get paid to do that job. She is onto absolutely nothing. I get it. The concern is that our platforms are being bought off, that we're being bribed to go against our values and spread misinformation. Baby, I need you to listen to me when I say this. We don't get paid anywhere near that well.
Ew, did he call Taylor Lorenz baby? That's yucky. That leaves a weird taste in the mouth. Dude, I don't, it's like the problem is, for me isn't even like, you know, I think that these content creators are having their values sold out. I just don't even really agree with their values in the first place. I mean, in some regards, you know, I'm sure there's things that we do agree on. But, you know, whatever. Let's keep going.
The amount of money it would take for me to completely sell out the integrity of my platform is 1,000 times what I currently get paid. I don't actually know if it's that much. I don't even know what the actual number is. I just know it's so much more than what I'm actually making.
That is a weird thing to say because you're like, but it is for sale. There is a number.
Not paid regularly, and I am not paid well. When I started doing this full-time 6 years ago, I lived in a tiny one-bedroom apartment, and now, 6 years later, I live in that exact same apartment, and I'm still renting it. But you want to know who does get paid well enough to regularly lie and spread harmful misinformation? Every high-profile influencer and content creator on the right. They make so much more money than us, it's genuinely nauseating. They're a well-oiled, highly funded machine. We're a ragtag militia that gets grocery money from time to time from random nonprofits that dig our style and want to help us stay alive while we do what we do. And that's...
All right, so yeah, I mean, like the first part of that, very true. Yeah, the right is it's a well-oiled machine, like you said. They have tons of money. Yeah, it's easier. It's easier to do. But does that mean does that mean that's the way to do it necessarily? Yeah, right. Yeah, Shapiro's just in it for the love of the game. Yeah, Ajax, not completely sell out, just accept money to not talk about certain things. Yeah, exactly. Like, ultimately, I don't even care that much because I think even if these guys, were getting paid to say certain things, I think it lines up sort of with what their values are anyway.
Kind of it, right? Is like, this is my job. I have disclosed that over and over and over the last 6 years. I regularly do paid partnerships, whether that's with brands or whether that's with political advocacy groups. I also get money from the TikTok Creator Fund. I get money from Meta and from YouTube for views. And I have a Patreon. I have multiple revenue streams that make this job financially viable for me. But boy, the comments on that post really lit me up. So everyone just ignored a Democrat-funded genocide in Gaza for a year because that's what they truly believed. I don't know who the fuck you're referring to in this comment when you say everyone.
It's okay. So this is another part we're about to get into.
No, it's not me. I get accused all the time by random leftist bots of supporting genocide and not doing enough to denounce Israel. Sometimes they'll say I've done nothing, I've been completely silent, and sometimes they'll go as far as to say that I full-throatedly support the genocide in Gaza. These accusations have never come with any evidence or receipts, and that is because there is no evidence. There are no receipts. I have never posted a single piece of content on any platform on the internet that is even vaguely supportive of Israel's genocide of the Palestinian people. It's just an ugly lie that people tell about me all the time, and I don't know why. I get accused of this so often that I went ahead and made a comprehensive list of every piece of content I've ever made where I unequivocally denounce Israel, where I unequivocally name what's happening in Gaza as a genocide because it is, and where I unequivocally state my support for the Palestinian people. It is an exhaustive list comprised of hours and hours and hours of content. Bro, you're shilling for a genocidal entity. Take a step back and reevaluate your life. There are other, way less evil ways to earn income. I don't think people know what a shill is. A shill is definition.
Ajax, he said Palestinians gonna lose that 8K. Yeah, he's not supposed to say it's good. God, that's Gazans. That's $1,000 off, right? You only 7K this month. Not supposed to humanize.
Swindler, a grifter, a person who takes money to con people. It is quite literally a person who gets paid to say things that they know are not true. So again, I can't speak for the contracts that other content creators negotiate when they do paid partnerships, but what I can tell you is anytime I do a partnership that involves political messaging, I always stipulate in my contract that I get to write the script, that I won't say anything I don't already regularly say on my platform for free, that I won't share any opinions I don't already genuinely hold, and I make sure that they are open to me calling into question information in the creative briefs that they send me if I find that information to be inaccurately represented or lacking in some way. I have never had a partner who has had a problem with these terms. And
You can just let your content stand for itself or whatever, right? Like, I don't know. This is like a big, long thing talking about every single piece of content he's made. Like, if you are fine with all the messaging that's been in all your content, then just, like, you know, I think say that simply. Yes, we took money, you know. Yeah, can we now fully examine his financial situation? I know, I'm looking forward to that video, because just like, who doesn't want to see other people's finances juicy?
The way that you know this is true is you can go through the playlists that I have on my channel of all of my political posts that I've ever made, and you can see that the messaging is consistent. I make hundreds.
Oh, okay, that's what I was saying. Just say that. Put that at the beginning. And then and don't say all this other stuff. All right, I feel like he's yelling at me. This might have some juice to it. Let's see.
Because I feel like I'm losing my mind. I didn't really want to say anything because I'm not listed in this article, but a couple of my mutuals are, and even though we haven't so much as exchanged a DM, it would go against everything that I stand for and believe to say nothing. And the thing that made me want to say something is this video that I thought was so disgusting.
There are people like Taylor Lorenz who are desperate to tear the left apart, and in fact, it becomes clear who her efforts help when you hear stuff like this.
Genuinely, I kind of like Taylor Lorenz because I know that she actually believes what she says.
Totally
You get what I'm
agree.
saying?
So yeah, I generally don't.
Yo, I get jump scared by that fucking Tucker Carlson. That's kind of good. Tucker Carlson laugh every time. I can't. All right.
Align myself with friends of Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens.
If I didn't know better, I would think that Brian Tyler Cohen was a Fox News Republican, because the way that is exactly out of their playbook. To take that clip and say that Taylor Lorenz at all appeals to Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, when the only reason that they're saying that is because she has been dogging them for years. That's why they're laughing. She has made it very clear that she is not their friend. And the reason I think this is so disgusting is because all of this is dependent on people not knowing who Taylor Lorenz is and not being familiar with her work. Well, I am. I've followed it for quite a while, and to say that Taylor Lorenz is actually some sort of conservative Republican op, and you banking on your audience to be too stupid to look into it, is so nasty to me. At the risk of pissing off those mutuals, I think where I'm so confused is Taylor Lorenz is not your enemy. If there's anybody who's making me distrust Democratic people in power or Democratic capital L liberal influencers, it's you. It's you guys. This taking issue with the term dark money, that's just what it's called. That's just what it's called. You're just going to have to get over that. When there's an organization who does not fully disclose every single one of its donors and we don't know where all of the money is coming from, that is dark money. It is kept in the dark. Does that mean that it's necessarily wrong to take it? I don't know. I think it's a complicated answer. But then to also in that video say that Taylor Lorenz is a hypocrite because she is part of a journalist network called the Omidyar Network that shares a donor who has publicly donated to the 1630 fund. Therefore, she's just as bad. That's actually not the same thing. That is one donor that is public. Do we know where the rest of the money comes from? That's the issue. But you're hoping by saying that will be enough to deflect people, that will be enough to turn people to their corners, really invoke that tribalism in them, and it shuts off their brain and they stop actually thinking about it. And it's working, and you know that it's working, and that's why you're saying it, that's why you're doing it, and I think that's disgusting. The reason why I feel like I'm going crazy.
All right, this guy, Felix, you cooked on that one, buddy. Yeah, I think that summed it up pretty well right there. It's the same stuff out of the same playbook. I think that was a good way of describing it, right? It's the same stuff out of the Republican playbook. And that's, I mean, kind of funny considering the Democrats have, like, for the longest time, people were like, yo, just... Can you dog on some Republicans? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you get a little more aggressive in a certain way or whatever? Can you take some stuff out of their playbook? And they just take the worst shit out of the playbook. Like, yeah, we'll do the dark money stuff. And it's like, well, no, you could tell us where the money's coming from. It's no, where's the fun in that?